Hi, my name's Lee Earnshaw, as Mel has very kindly introduced me. I'm a senior leader at Amazon UK and a military veteran. I've spent 25 years leading small and large teams all over the globe, including North America, Central America, most of Europe, Middle East, for about 12 years in and out of the desert. I'm about to share with you this evening, slide please, I'm about to share this evening a story of my life so far and how the plan can change. The plan can change very suddenly. I'll explain my life in small details and I'll take the next 15 minutes to explain how I'm going to deal with it. So, in June of this year, I set off to Mallorca with my wife and 3 children and my first bike, found the biggest mountains and spent a week training. On the final day, I had a bit of a sore calf, didn't think much of it, came back to the UK and suddenly going from the sore calf then turned into deep vein thrombosis. On the 20th of June, I was pretty much marched into a consultant and told I had cancer, which, as you can imagine, is what I call my sledgehammer moment. So, going to Mallorca, half term, 3 children, wife, holiday, coming back on the 20th of June to be told I had cancer. As you can imagine, an extremely difficult day. But before we go into what I did next, let's go back a few years. Slide please. I was born and raised in Yorkshire, Dod County, in a small mining town called Ascot, just north of Doncaster. An extremely difficult childhood. My father was an alcoholic and a domestic abuser to me, my 3 siblings and my mother. Life wasn't all bad. I enjoyed sports, football, rugby, cross-country running. Excuse me. I decided, also then went to school for a couple of years, very difficult childhood. I then did my mock GCSEs, did pretty well and thought I was all sorted. I was then looking away to get away from the town at the next opportunity. Unfortunately, at this point, my mother then built up the courage and left my alcoholic father. She moved away. For the next 2 years, myself and my brother raised ourselves whilst my father drank himself into a stupor and was very regularly or very irregular at home at that point. From there, through school, what I expected at that point, like we have at this school here, just chatting with the groups over dinner, was that I would have a mentor at school and someone to guide me through, but that didn't happen, unfortunately for myself. I was told that I would have no success in my life, and the best course of action for me was to find a job in the local sawmill, because that's the best that I could achieve. But my first message to you this evening, as we move through the talk, is that don't allow someone else to set your destiny. Your destiny is set by you. I ignored that advice. And decided to set my own destiny. So I joined the military. Slide please. So I joined the military at the age of 18 and spent the next 22 years travelling the world in search of inspirational leadership. I think I found my calling. I enjoyed my day-to-day life, I had a great inspirational leadership around me, mentors, and a good standard of living. Unfortunately, with my job also comes with the military tragedy and stress. And in 2007, unfortunately, I lost Corporal Ivano Violano to an improvised explosive device, one of the operations that I was leading. It was this event in 2007 which would lead into further problems as we go forward. What the Army did provide for me though, however, was an opportunity to work around the globe, gain a bachelor's degree in leadership and business management, and meet the very best people I could lead around the world. If we go back to 2007, it was during an operation just south of forward operation base Arnhem that we were deciding to lead down this track that I was leading, and the width of my vehicle, which was a Land Rover, going down the track, and there was a vehicle behind it which was a large dump truck. Then the dump truck behind me was about 50 metres, set off an improvised explosive device. And it was that vehicle, which was much wider than mine, that set off the mine. So my destiny was decided by the width of the wheel. It was this incident, unfortunately, in 2007, which then set in course of action some survivor's guilt. And for the next 10 years, until 2017, I had survivor's guilt. And every year I went through this vicious circle of why am I here and why did I lose a friend? And this went on for 10 years. In 2007, I was 10 metres from jumping off a platform and jumping in front of a train, low-flying plane that is. I was 10 metres from jumping in front of a train because it got on top of me that much. The only reason why I did not jump in front of that train was for the love of my good wife who's here this evening, and for my very best friend Grant Turley. Talking, communication. My second message to you this evening, no matter how life or how tough life can become, communication, talking to friends, talking to family, professionals, and the love of the people around you may save your life. So please make sure that you open up and talk. It was the acts of kindness which saved my life. And I cannot thank those around me enough. Next slide, please. So if we go back to the day of days, in June of this year, I've already built up quite a challenging life story so far. The 27th of June, having been diagnosed with cancer, I spent the next few weeks thinking, maybe they've got it wrong. Maybe it's not me, the test is wrong. Maybe I can just get through it. I can have some medication, it's fine. The 27th of June, I then saw my cancer consultant. I was told I had 6 months to live and I had terminal cancer. You just stop for a second, just close your eyes and think. You're in that moment, you've just sat down with your consultant, you think life is great, you've got this great plan. I've just accepted a job to Florida, just about to move my wife and 3 children, back to live near Disney, new job with Amazon, and then you're told suddenly you've got terminal cancer, you've got 6 months to live. That was June, I'm still here. I refuse to give in. I will not give up hope that I can still stay around. For the last 6 months, I've thrown myself into charity work, talks, like this one this evening, Nala, thank you very much. Inspirational lady, I must add. Charity work with other people, and I've helped in the last 4 months 100 veterans in transition, leaving the public sector into the private sector. But my final message is that I will not give up. I will not give up hope. And that's what we should never do. So I refuse to give in. In summary, very short presentation. In summary to you all this evening, I refuse to give up hope in what I'm doing. Perseverance is absolute key. Live life like it's your last day. Never give up hope. And make sure you have love, laugh, and happiness around you. Thank you very much.